Sportscast Sports Talk 101 on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Discuss, debate, entertain, and loud.
Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Wrong arm. There we go. Let's go with that arm. I was going to throw this one, but then I'm like,
no, don't mess with that arm. Yo, what's going on, peeps? Football.
There we go. Now I can hear better. I turned volume up on the headset. Got another sports talk we're live on. Man.
Yeah, we are.
Let's go over here. So I have the chat just in case we get people start talking. I can actually remember to have that. So we're not doing any NFL stuff today. I think we said that last week, which is weird because usually that's all we focus on. But since there's other leagues and there ain't a whole lot of NFL stuff until the draft, we're going to focus on the XFL, the USFL, and if we'll check and see if there's any news on the upcoming Arena Football League that is returning. We also will have a guest appearance from another show on the Sports Talk or Sportscast. They're going to give us an update on March Madness, so we've got that upcoming as well. So awesome. That will be cool. Oh, sports, I love it. Football. This is what I grew up using to always want. I was like, I just want football year round. As a kid, it's all I wanted. I just wanted it year round, and I'm getting there.
Man,
we're getting to that dream.
So impressed with the XFL, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know you got your Commanders in the background, but there's a team that you should be looking at, and that's called the DC Defenders. They got an awesome guy on there named Happy Jackson. Happy Jackson. This brother is a straight stud.
Oh, I think we got somebody coming in.
Okay.
That will be chit-chatting. Let's see. There we go. He's
Alan West.
Welcome, Alan. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, guys.
Hey, Alan. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Man,
we just went live, getting ready to talk XFL, USFL, sprinkling some arena football, maybe some NFL.
I wanted to talk brackets, but my bracket been busted since the very beginning. Completely. I have never in this year seen my bracket that horrible. So
all right. I'm gonna make you feel better, Ray. I tried doing a regular bracket and mine did get busted. Then I made a mistake of doing a second chance bracket and it got even more busted.
No. Wow.
Yeah, so it's been pretty bad, but I mean, just watching all the games and even watching the NIT,
yes,
it's been absolutely insane.
Crazy. Yes, it has. So, I mean, Aaron, did you do a bracket or you didn't?
No, I didn't do one. I'm not big into the March Madness stuff. I don't really follow it as well as I should. I tend to go more football, college football, NFL stuff. NBA, I do follow the NBA once the playoffs start. I don't really pay attention much at all. Same with hockey. I probably watch more than anything else than basketball. It's never been playoff time in the NBA is about the only thing that pulls me in, but otherwise not much with the college basketball. So I'll let you two kind of piggyback off each other with the updates.
Right now, I'm at with the ESPN men's tournament. I'm at 71%. I got 480 points, but what killed me, Arizona killed me getting beat by Princeton.
Yep.
That was what? And then oh my goodness. Iowa State. I had Iowa State trying to beat Pittsburgh, and that didn't work. And or no, what did I do? No, I think I had I actually picked Iowa State to beat Pittsburgh. That didn't work. That killed me. That's some beginning games. And then if you want to go down, the only team I got right now that's going for me, I got Texas. I have Oh no! Oh no!
Texas lost to Miami.
Yeah, they did. Oh no!
So,
FAU. Oh my God, this is horrible. Duke killed me. Duke. Actually, I had Duke. I don't know why I listened to some idiot, but he talked me into picking Duke, and Duke didn't. Duke didn't go.
I
Yeah.
actually had them picked originally to lose to Oral Roberts. So for me, I
Oh
was already messed up in the beginning. But the other thing that was huge about the tournament, what about Farley Dickinson, the 16 seed,
yeah,
beating the 1 seed Purdue?
Cinderella
Well, the thing about that, Farley Dickinson, they shouldn't have even made the tournament.
tournament. Yep.
Only reason why they made the tournament was because Merrimack, the one who won their conference,
Hmm.
they just moved up to Division One. They were ineligible.
Wow. Wow.
So I mean, it's something that you wouldn't have thought about, and then all
No.
of a sudden it comes up, and you're just like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Well, see, I live in the West,
Okay.
so I was like Gonzaga. I was rolling with
Hmm.
Gonzaga in the West, and then let's see, my the South. Don't want to talk about the South. Ugh. Midwest. I was like, yeah, and then the East. I'm first round. I did very good on the East, and then
Yeah.
it just got destroyed after that. But who do you, what do you think is going to be the outcome?
Right now, I think UConn is the team to beat. They've won all their games by at least 15 points. And I mean, how they beat Gonzaga when Gonzaga missed their last 22 shots in the second
Yeah.
half. I mean,
Ooh.
once that happened, the game was over. As much as because I thought Gonzaga was going to do better, but when they couldn't hit a shot, I
Hmm.
mean, I've been watching the NIT tonight, and Wisconsin was playing North Texas. Wisconsin was held scoreless the last 9 minutes of the game, and they lost by 2 points.
2 points.
So I mean, when you're seeing something like that happen, it's
Yeah.
pretty rough. And Aaron, you'll appreciate this. I actually live in Northern Virginia, so I'm a Commanders fan, and
Nice.
I've been a, I actually got to go to FedEx Field at one of my other jobs, or formerly Redskin Park. I got thrown out of there for 3 months one time, so you know what? It was still okay.
Oh man, nice. I don't think I might have gone to one game at FedEx Field right after
Hmm.
shortly after they moved there. But most of the games I went to were at RFK. I did get to attend. I went to was it Redskins 49ers game when they had Steve Young and Jerry Rice. It was the
Hmm.
Niners Super Bowl year, so I got to
So
go to that one.
my dad was we were stationed in Fort Meade, Maryland. So when
Hmm.
I lived in Maryland back in the 80s, I mean I was Joe Theismann, Joe Riggins. I mean, when
Oh,
I was younger, I was a Redskins fan, but
but I
I'm out
got to
here.
go. I did get to go to their final home game at RFK, which was against the Cowboys, which, of course, we won that one. And I also got
Hmm.
to go out onto the field watching people just ripping turf out of the grass out of the ground. I think there might
Hmm.
have been people that were trying to steal chairs off and carry them out of the stadium, which I'm not really sure how that was going to work. But somebody tried, I'm sure. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
I've met I've been a fan since I was born. Basically, I got to meet. I've met John Riggins. I've met Sonny and Sam. I met them. Met Daryl Green. Met Art
Hmm.
Monk. Met Dexter Manley. I met most of the 80s, the 90s guys. Daryl Green. I went to a couple of the camps when I was younger, and my knees weren't broken. So, which was why my mindset as a kid, I was like, all right, I'm playing the NFL. I'm going to go to college. I'm only going to college as a technicality so I can get to the NFL, get drafted by Washington, and go on to the Hall of Fame. And that was where I thought I was going to go. And and everyone's like, "What are you going to be, a quarterback?" I said, "Heck no, I want defense. Defense wins championships." So, um, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been a rough 20 some years to be a
Yes, sir.
fan, and
Yes,
I am
sir.
so excited for the owners meetings to find out that the team has been sold. I'm hoping that that's when they'll make an announcement.
Yeah, they'll make
Oh.
an announcement.
I know Santiago messaged me saying something that there was an article he messaged me a tweet that the Josh Harris Mitchell Rails group now includes Magic Johnson, officially has submitted a fully financed bid that meets Dan Snyder's $6 billion asking price. And I was like, yeah, I think we brought that up last week. We actually brought up that Magic Johnson was getting involved. I didn't know that they made the official bid, so I'm hoping that will go through. Because I'm okay with that. I mean, as long as we can, maybe bring back the old name or something better than the Commanders.
It's time.
I would love the old name to come back. I know it's not going to, but as a fan, I would love it to come back. The Commander, it just hasn't grown on me. It has not, and the mascot is another thing that has not grown on me.
That was stupid. That's just stupid.
My issue with this name change is why does the Kansas City get to keep their name? Like that, how is that fair? That's not fair. Why do they get to keep?
Well, with all due respect, they're the OG, and they actually have.
Yeah, I know, but they're also, they got Patrick Mahomes, and they've been winning Super Bowls, so we can't go after the Golden Team right now.
I mean,
well, did you see the other colors?
I know, I'm okay with.
But
okay.
did you see the RG3?
Yeah.
Did you see the RG tweet that Finley tweeted out? The RG3 may try to join one of the owners and become part of the ownership group.
Oh, God,
he does
that. He's such a knucklehead. I think he took one too many hits to the head, anyways. But I mean, and we know he did. We know he did. But he sometimes he makes some good tweets, and then there's the rest of them. You question what's going on.
Look, man, he was I remember the first play he did when he threw that bomb up in the air, and was like,
he was the future that got ruined by Dan Snyder.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because you know that when he won the Heisman at Baylor, he actually had a concussion, had to sit out a game. So I mean, he had already had an issue back in college. Then when he came back, so I mean, kind of liability, unfortunately.
You got look. If you saw what Purdy did, he said, "Coach,
Purdy was
my arm. I can't. My arm. I'm hurt." And you sometimes have to be an advocate for yourself. If you're hurt, you got to look. I can't do it, and you have to think about your future. But if I'm gonna go out there and I'm just gonna shred my knee, and that's the end of my career. And he was never the same.
He wasn't. He should never have gotten put in the playoffs. That ruined him. I mean, but there's countless things that I could go on and on about the issues with Washington with different players.
What you mean hiding money from the other owners, having these books over here, and then having these books over here?
Dan Snyder said Mr. Snyder said there was nothing happening. That was all. It's just made up news articles by the Washington Post and Jeff Bezos, which we all know is true. I mean, God. I'm amazed that it took that he just didn't get kicked out.
Just pay me my $60 billion. Don't bring nothing up. I'll shake your hand and I'm out. Bye. And you guys are not going to do no investigation on me, are you? Right? We're good. We're good. Okay.
So,
bye.
Since we're on the subject of football, did you guys anybody catch the USFL ad? Making fun of the XFL.
They need to stop. XFL been pretty good, man.
I know. So the Rock, they actually asked the Rock about it, and he said it's easier to talk trash when you're hiding. he threw. So he defended the XFL
until you can go to other stadiums and have certain areas represent your team. I mean, come on, man.
I think people are still gonna try to pull that. Let's crack some jokes and throw shade at the XFL because of the Vince McMahon XFL. This isn't the Vince McMahon XFL anymore. The commercial said the USFL isn't some Hollywood knockoff, seemingly a reference to The Rock, who's part owner of the XFL. We're all in entertainment, all connected to Hollywood. So I thought that ad. We got a big laugh out of that ad. Johnson said. Also, it's much easier to talk trash when you're hiding behind the corporate walls and the computer. We're very forward facing. We're not hard to find. So that's a pretty yeah.
But you gotta do the eyebrow though. When you say it, you gotta do the rock eyebrow.
I can't do all that, but he did. I'm sure in that interview, after he said that, he probably dropped the mic, did the eyebrow, and walked away.
Hey, if I was in Washington D.C. right now, I'd be watching the D.C. Defenders. Oh my God, Happy Jackson! Holy, so I did catch some of that, and holy smoke, that was a good game. That was a really good game. They're 6-0. They're 6-0.
Yeah, so the XFL is in its first season. USFL starts April 15th, which will be interesting because this will be the first time the two leagues actually get to compete at the same time. So do you guys think there'll be some kind of like animosity or competition or something for ratings and fans and all that?
You want me to give you my honest opinion?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of loving what I'm seeing in the XFL. I'm seeing, what do we want to see? Touchdowns. We want to see some awesome runs. We want to see the ball aired out. You've been seeing that right now. I mean, some of the games I've seen. I mean, you got Seattle that is playing great. You got Orlando. You got some pretty good teams out there, and St. Louis. St. Louis. I was rooting for the Vipers, but you know what? I'm changing it to the DC Defenders.
You know that how weird does it feel when you say I'm rooting for a DC team?
I know. I'm a Happy Jackson fan.
But you know what? We have some good. Well, we have like one good team. I was gonna say we have some. We used to have the Nationals were good for like a few until they decided to pull the football NFL move and let's just get rid of all our good players type thing. And sign has-beens. But we still have the Capitals. We've got Ovechkin. That's one of the Washington teams that has not gotten rid of their best player. You know, the Wizards and the Bullets both. You know, when they were the Bullets, when they were the Wizards, they kept bum players. They got rid of good players. So I'm okay if you though. Yeah. So that's something positive. I'm okay with having a winning football team. We haven't had that in a long time. We had not been to the playoffs in 18 years.
Right.
I tweeted out a video from the last time we were in the playoffs, and I'm just like, and it was with Sean Taylor when we beat the Bucks, and I was just like, I mean, we've won divisions, and I mean, we've by technicality sometimes, but we have not been good in a long time, and I'm hoping with new ownership that. I know with new ownership, you want to just gut everything and clean house. I really hope that they retain Ron Rivera. I just don't want to go after a new coach and start all over again. That's
Did you see the article on ESPN today about about Washington? It literally went through the entire time from when Snyder bought the team till now and made sure to hit all the highlights for every year for when you had Marty, when you had Joe, when you had Sean, when you had Hainsworth. I mean, you can kind of say
remember Hainsworth.
Yeah, like I mean, it went through everything.
I remember. I love Clinton Portis, man. I love Clinton.
Portis was good Portis was good. I initially was upset when we got rid of Champ Bailey for Portis, only because we never recovered in the secondary. The cornerback position never recovered when we got rid of Champ Bailey.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a story about Portis and Moss and Coles about how Snyder. You need to read that article because it does not pull any punches, and it was something to look at.
Moss.
I remember we had Santana Moss and I can't think of his name now, from Philly, the receiver from Philly that was a stud
Deshaun
for so long.
Come on, Deshaun Jackson.
When we had them both, that was the 1 year we had two receivers over 1,000 yards, and then Washington trades them both. And I was like, I went speechless when I saw that. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen an NFL team trade away two receivers that have two receivers over 1,000 yards and trade them both away.
Wasn't Garcon on that
do
team
anything
too?
with either of them. They didn't do anything with either. I think one went to San Francisco, one went somewhere else, and neither of them did anything.
No, that was Garcon. That was Pierre
Oh,
Garcon.
yeah, Garcon. Yeah. God, I was just like, there's so many bonehead moves that we've done with him. It was just,
Chris Cooley.
Yes,
one of my favorite tight ends.
God, he was one of the best.
Of my favorite tight ends. Because I had him on one of my fantasy teams. And
we had Cooley. We had running backs. We've had some great running backs besides Portis. Even I can't think. I'm literally drawing blanks at this point.
So who are you trying to think of? Like there was Cooley. You had Terry Allen was way before then. He was back. You had Stephen Davis. You had
Stephen Davis was a really good one. Great power back.
I think Stephen Davis, though, he became a stud with Carolina, though. I think
he did. He did.
He was,
but
Antonio Gibson was. Alfred Morris was another one that we had.
Yep.
Alfred Morris was excellent.
Alfred Morris was one of the. I mean, I will say, even when we had Adrian Peterson, and everybody said that was a stupid thing, he outperformed half the backs we had. That was like his first season. I would say his first season. Once he got the role, it was like watching the old days when he was with the Vikings. It was exciting to watch, and he still had the moves and everything. I was just like,
was Dante Stallworth on the Skins when he got in trouble? Dante Stallworth.
I want to say he was either with the Patriots or the Saints when he got in trouble.
I think it might have been the Saints, but he was. I remember when
he was with the Redskins for at least a year or two, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we've had some great running backs. I mean, John Riggins, Larry Brown, Clinton Portis, Alfred Morris, Stephen Davis, Ernest Biner. I remember growing up watching Brian Mitchell. God, not only was he a great running back, fantastic special teams. We had Joe Washington back in the 80s, Adrian Peterson, Terry Allen, George Rogers, Charlie Taylor. God, I remember a lot of these guys. I even rooted for Tim Hightower when we had him.
Yep.
A year.
I went to the Saints, yeah.
Yeah, Liddell Betts was one.
God,
there were so many good guys we had over the years.
Larry Brown, Cliff Battle, Stephen Davis, Alfred Morris, Ernest Biner, Terry Allen, Mike Thomas, Andy Farkas. And those are just through the John Riggins is your number one. Your number two was Clinton Portis. Number three was Larry Brown. Number 4 was Cliff Battles. 5, Stephen Davis. 6 was Alfred Morris. 7, Ernest Biner. 8, Terry Allen. 9, Mike Thomas. And 10, Andy Farkas. And somebody said that was the 10 best Washington commanders. Back then they were something else running back of all time.
I mean, we had, even if you think about even receivers, we had Art Monk, probably one of the greatest Washington receivers we've ever had. Gary Clark, Santana Moss. I mean, I'm Terry McLaurin. I'm so glad that we haven't traded him to somebody else, because I know the moment that he goes somewhere else, he's gonna his skill level is gonna go off the charts.
He needs somebody to get him the ball. I honestly thought Wentz was gonna okay, Wentz, it's your chance. Here's your chance.
I know. I called it from the very beginning. The moment they traded, I said, "Watch." I called the week and what was going to happen, and I knew that was bound to be. I think his career isn't over. He's not done. He's a backup at this point.
I thought he was good.
Yeah,
and I think
Heineke was. I really was hoping we would have kept him, but I said this last week. I'm okay with Brissett coming in. I'm so glad that they did not let Snyder have. If Snyder hadn't been with all these issues that came out, we would have Lamar Jackson as our quarterback, and it'd be like watching RG3 all over again. Guarantee you.
I'm cool with him, but you guys, you gotta have a star, dude, in DC. You need a bona fide star, a leader in DC.
Yeah.
You have awesome receivers.
Oh yeah.
You got some good backs.
I'm just glad we don't have this diva that's I think a free agent still technically. Well, he's with another team, but we know he's not going to play with that team. I'm going to talk real. Yeah, I'm just going to say I do not want. There's no part. I would hate to have had them go after Rodgers. I know there were rumors for the last 2 years that Washington was when Rivera came there. That's when the rumor started that they were going to try to get Rodgers to come to Washington, and I was like, God, I
thought he
prayed
was
to the
going
football gods that would never happen.
I thought he was going to go to Vegas and reunite with Devontae Adams, but
I mean, they could have had the reunite. They could have broke out the reunite song.
I'm just so you know, Alan, I'm out here in California. I'm a 49er fan, and I'm not trying to throw no shade at Vegas, but Jimmy couldn't do it out here in San Francisco. What makes you think he gonna do it in Vegas? But he does win. Stats don't lie. He wins games. But
he just can't stay
Adams,
healthy.
No, he can't. And Devontae is going to want the ball. He's going to get frustrated. He's going to get mad because he doesn't do like Debo. Okay, just hand me the ball. I'll just run. You know, but I don't know if Jimmy's going to get him that ball down the field.
Understand. Real quick for the since we were talking about the tourney a little bit ago, I'm gonna just swing it back here real quick.
Yep. Go ahead.
That's what he does. He changes it. Yeah.
I know, right?
I mean, I am a diehard Washington fan, so I mean, I appreciate all the talk, but
go for it.
I'm thinking that it's going to be UConn, and I'm the other game for San Diego State, and now I can't think of who they're playing tomorrow. But I mean, that game is going to be really tough because San Diego State has been more of a defensive team. And I'm really curious to see if they're going to be able to lock down. Ray, help me out here. Who's San Diego State playing? I can't think of off the top of my head right now. I'm drawing a blank. This is
you talking about Creighton. So let's see.
Not Creighton. Creighton lost.
They beat Creighton by 1, 57-56. So now they got to face. Let's see. San Diego FA. What? FAU?
Yeah, Florida Atlantic. Well, no. You can laugh about them, but the way that they played against Kansas State, they're going to give San Diego State all they can handle and more. Because as much as I want,
go ahead.
You take San Diego State. I'm actually going to pick Florida Atlantic. I think they're going to shock the world.
I'm gonna go with San Diego. Number 5 seed beat the number 9 seed.
Yeah, but the only thing is, it doesn't matter who's going to play UConn. I really think UConn's going to win because UConn, they've been able, with their suffocating defense and with how their 3-point shooting's been going off in the second half, just how they've been a second half team. Unless somebody is able to show up and do something that's going to be incredible, I can't picture them losing.
San Diego and the U.
Okay. Hey, I mean, Jim Larrañaga used it George Mason.
I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna go San Diego and Miami, the U.
Okay. Who do you think is going to win that?
Miami.
Okay. Hey, you know what?
It's gonna be something crazy. Because here's in my heart, I'm thinking UConn, but this has just been a crazy something's gonna happen down the line, and Miami.
Hey, you know what? If they win, I'll be happy for that because Coach Larrañaga, That's the only thing that he's missing on his Hall of Fame coaching resume.
Yes.
Because I mean, he was a beast at George Mason before he went to Miami. So I mean, if he can do that, I'm not going to be mad. But I want to. If they can beat UConn, that's the thing I want to see. Because if they can do that, I'll be happy to be wrong. If that's the worst thing that can happen to me for that game, I'll be happy. You know what? It's just going to be. I want to see an awesome game. It's the main thing. That and like you guys, I appreciate you letting me come on today. Just because tomorrow on my show, the Top 25 Rundown, we're doing the Final Four show, and we're going to make predictions for it.
You say
for
that
the
phrase is nut. You don't know what he's
and the
talking
women's
about.
Final Four. Nah, trust me.
Awesome stuff.
What we do is I have a lot of fun trying to do it, and so just some of the stuff I've heard and the predictions I've made, right? You would feel good compared to some of the predictions I've made over the.
I'm just going to go crazy. I just think something crazy is going to happen, so we'll see. But definitely, thank you, appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you guys for letting me come on, and
no problem.
And anytime you ever want to talk about the Commanders or you need someone else to come on for that, let me know. I'll be happy to talk with you guys about it. All right?
You hear that? All right, football season. Yep, got you.
Awesome stuff.
All right, man. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, see ya.
Cool dude.
All right.
Cool dude.
Yeah, he's got a good show. That's his fit. That's why I was like, I knew I shouldn't have started talking football.
You know how when we start talking football, we just go.
I know we took over. That's
why Santiago's like, God dang it, these guys are always going off the script. Shut up.
I know. So I was like, let me just be quiet. You guys have the floor. So I hit the mute button and just sat back and listened. So yeah. I will say, since we were talking football, there's not a whole lot. I know in the title I listed arena football. There ain't a whole lot of news because the Arena Football League will return in 2024 with 16 teams, which I think is really cool. I'm excited because I was a huge Iowa Barnstormers fan, mostly because
baby San Jose.
I was mostly Iowa because of a certain NFL Hall of Famer named what's his name? Oh yes, Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Yeah.
But it's cool that there's 16 teams. So last year it was the USFL. This year it's USFL, XFL. Next year we'll have 3 leagues competing, all in the same time frame. Like that will be crazy. Like you'll have the USFL, you'll have XFL, and then arena. And I used to love watching arena football. They said that the league will have 16 teams and it will play a 10-game season. Awesome. So they're going to try to incorporate the components of a modern day business: streaming, betting, technology, VR, and immersive fan engagement mixed with good old fashioned Ironman football. So let's see, the NFL or the AFL was originally launched in 1987. The 2009 season was canceled due to financial issues, and then they went bankrupt. The league rebooted with an LA-based franchise owned by Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons.
Kiss.
It's fantastic.
LA Kiss. I remember that.
Later in the decade, the league shrank to as few as 4 teams. In 2019, the league's final season, they had 6 franchises, which is crazy that they only had 6 4 years in 2019, and now when they come back next year, they'll have 16. They added 10 more teams, so that will be awesome to see. And that's pretty much all the AFL stuff. Now we can go back to XFL because that's what more news about.
Well, like I said, man, I saw a couple of games. I think Sunday and the other day. They had, and I know I keep talking about DC, but they got this guy. Oh my God, he's something Ramu, or hold on, I gotta find his name. But he's on. He was on the DC United quarterback, and he looked pretty. Hold on, let me go.
DC Defenders post-game conference. Oh man, look at the Houston. I watched the post-game for the Roughnecks just because I wanted to hear Wade talk, and it's it's so funny. I'm like, dude, you should already know what you're doing. How many times did you do these press conferences when the Cowboys lost?
Oh damn! See, there you go. Hey, put some respect on his name. Jordan Ta'amu, number 10, the quarterback. He's from Mississippi. He was slinging that ball the other day.
Yeah.
And they played.
Let's see. We got standings. Yeah, DC 6-0, 4-0 at home, 2-0 at away, 6-game win streak. Hey, Commanders, take notice. So maybe we could, maybe do the same thing next season.
They beat the Houston 30. It was 37-26. I watched that game. That game was freaking amazing. The ball,
there's so much stuff with the XFL that I like. The how they do the penalties, how they do the kickoffs, all of these different things.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
I used to love and I've said this before. I used to love watching special teams play in the NFL back in the day because what always stood out was watching Devin Hester, one of the best special teams. Besides, we all know Mr. Hollywood himself, that Cowboys cornerback guy. I don't remember what was his name. Oh yeah, Dion.
Man, you need to put some respect on that name, man.
I did. I had respect for him when he played for the. I had respect for prime time when he was with the Niners. I lost respect when he signed with the Cowboys, and I lost even more respect when he signed with Washington just to sit out, just to play a couple of games and then retire to come back and play for the Ravens. So, but I'm just saying, I used to love watching guys like those with special teams and kickoffs, returns, and things like that. It's great to watch that in other leagues because you don't get that much now anymore in the NFL.
Right.
There's just certain things that these other leagues do. I would love the NFL to be like, oh, maybe we should, do that. But the NFL is too busy worrying about, trying to convert it into flag football, where these up and coming leagues, I really feel like one of these is going to give the NFL a run for their money. And I don't know if it'll be the USFL, but the XFL, I think, has the potential to do that.
I agree with you.
The biggest thing that helps them, though, is guess what? They get to play in their own cities. That's what sets them apart.
You can't sit there and talk smack when you can't. I mean, you was playing in Alabama. Your games was in
Alabama.
Of
your games, yeah. Every team. There was no such thing as home field advantage. Like you don't get you don't have the privilege of saying anything about the XFL when you don't have teams in each city when your teams don't even have home cities.
And the one thing about the games, you see the Seattle fans sitting up there with the jerseys. I saw the DC fans. I seen Seattle. I mean
did Seattle's uniforms? Did the Sea Dragons? Did they not resemble another Seattle team? Football team? Was I the only one that noticed that?
No.
I think they were actually brighter, though. No, they were on par with the color rush jerseys of the Seahawks.
Right.
Because those things are bright, but I was like, wow. No, I've seen that Seattle jersey somewhere.
This is weird because I thought the Vegas they're 1-5 right now, but I thought the Vegas Vipers would be, just by the name the Vipers, I thought they would be doing something, and also from Vegas. And then Orlando's 0-6 Orlando Guardians. I was really impressed with the Arlington Renegades.
Yeah. And I think that the other thing that sets this apart is what'll be interesting, especially when the USFL starts, because we know the USFL has changed some of the rules. They've tweaked some of the rules from last season. But I like what the XFL has to shake things up. They've got the fast 35-second play clock, 3 overtime scoring rounds per team. I like that. You got 3 timeouts per half. The fourth quarter, this was one thing that I really liked. Fourth quarter onside kick alternate. You have the option to keep the ball with the 4th and 15. That to me I like this innovation stuff when they change things because as a football fan, I'm just, NFL rules. That's how I follow. And when you change things, it's like, I don't know if I like this. But then as you watch and you see how it works, it's really fun to watch as a fan.
Well, you're getting a lot of scoring with these XFL games. You're getting scoring.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting
the tiered extra points are back.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've got teams have 3 run pass only options for extra points following a touchdown. You got the 2-yard line is 1 point, 5-yard line is 2, 10-yard line is 3. Defense awarded the same number of points for a touchdown. You got game timing rules. I mean, they were really in depth. When you look at the rules, you've got kickoffs, you've got a kickoff rule, you've got game timing rules, option to keep the ball. Teams have two options to keep the ball after scoring: the onside kick or a 4th and 15. They got the double forward pass rule,
Right. Yeah.
overtime rules, instant replay rules. And then if we want, we can read the complete rule book that nobody reads. Because ain't no one got time for that nonsense. But I'm
the
liking the
good
stats too, man. These
dude,
players have been doing.
so when we talk stats, so come quarterback, you got the Dragons, Ben DiNucci. Right now, he's sitting at 1,505 yards. He has completed
Crazy.
146 out of 228 attempts.
Wow.
TDs 11, interceptions 8. He ranks first.
Oh yeah, I'm looking. Wow, man.
Yeah. Let me check out. Oh, and then Jordan Ta'amu. That's my guy. That's right now. I like that guy, but he's
Yeah.
he's at 903. He's completed 76 out of 132. His completion percentage is 57.6.
So since we're talking DC, how do you like Abram Smith, the running back?
103 attempts, 527
Yeah,
yards. We're at the
they're.
halfway mark. At the
But
halfway
look at
mark.
the guy below him in
Yes.
attempts is
Yes.
Brian Hill,
Yes.
62.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you mean we
Yeah.
gotta? There's leagues that are still utilizing the running game. Oh, my heart be still,
Bro,
dude.
Abraham, he's a beast. I think his longest run was 70.
Yeah, dude, that was
So look at the 20.
crazy.
So look at the 20 plus. He's got 4, 10 plus. He's got 10. Yeah, he's a stud. I
Yeah.
watched him. But then look at the quarterback. Quarterback is at like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The quarterback, Jordan, he's attempt 47.
I know he's right behind him.
He's
I
right
mean, it's
behind
not
him.
like Lamar, but and I'm okay with those kind of numbers. I would love to see NFL teams quarterbacks have those kind of numbers for us in a season, not the Jalen Hurts got 175, 200 plus yards
Right.
and basically did everything himself and type stuff, and you risk
So
getting his team obliterated.
So when we go with receiving, we got the Pearson. He's received 40. He's got 448 yards. He's got a 40 plus, just 140 plus, but 620 plus. He's only got one touchdown. Come on, man. He got some touchdowns. But my guy, I love this name, dude. Come on. Lucky Jackson. Lucky
That is fantastic.
That dude, and the way he was catching the balls and everything, I was like, man, that's Lucky Jackson. But he's got, what is he got? Yesterday I saw him get his touchdown, but he's got 720 plus and 040. Man, they got to get that ball to him.
Well, and there's like you look at I'm looking at defensive stats. I mean,
all right, let's go defense.
The leaders for you got two players tied with 4 interceptions each, Genie Harris and Michael Joseph.
Right.
But Joseph has 2 touchdowns with
Yes.
out of those 4 interceptions. 78 yards. His longest was 41 yards that he ran it back. But I mean, you look at all the players. There's a good chunk that this secondary. They've got a lot of good secondary players in the league. I'm looking at fumbles. Go to fumbles. Look at the amount of forced fumbles some of these defensive players have been able to do.
Yeah.
Choose our skipper.
I'm looking at it.
3.
Thornton, John Daka, LaCal London.
What I love is that you see some of these are maybe NFL guys that just couldn't get it onto a team, and a lot of them are college guys that played college, just didn't make the cut for the NFL or just got overlooked. And I love that you've got these leagues now to showcase the skills that they have.
Yeah. Not only that, but you give them a second chance.
Look at Jordan Williams on tackles. 26 solo, 28 assisted tackles. He's got 54 tackles for the season so far.
Wow.
And 7 for a loss. There's NFL guys that don't get those kind of numbers.
Nope. Sign them up.
Well, I did see that the XFL, Seattle Sea Dragons just signed former NFL linebacker Tyrell Adams. He just got signed by the Sea Dragons on Tuesday. Adams comes to the Sea Dragons after being released from the Colts in November 2022 and will join the Sea Dragons at the XFL's hub in Arlington, Texas this week to immediately start team workouts. So that's pretty good turnaround time.
Hey,
Get signed Tuesday, or he'll be playing soon.
He's got NFL experience, so that's a win-win-win because he can
I'm
help.
gonna click his name. I want to see how long has he been. I don't know how long he's been in the league, how long he was in the league, but let's see if I can't. Well, I'm on Yardburger. That's probably why.
Hold on. What team did he play?
He played for the Colts back in the NFL. He was a linebacker.
He got signed on what team?
Seattle Sea Dragons.
Okay.
Oh wait, Tyrell NFL stats. Okay, so let's see. Tyrell Adams, National Football League. Let's actually. So, okay, so he's been in the league since 2015.
Okay,
if this is the right. Yeah. So he was signed. He was with Seattle, the Seahawks for 2015, and the Chiefs, and then back to the Seahawks. So 2015, he played for the Seahawks, then the Chiefs, then the Seahawks, then he went back to the Chiefs. He was with the Raiders 2016, 2017, played for the Bills in 2017. Looks like he played for the Colts 2018, the Texans, the 49ers, all 3 of those teams in 2018. Played 2 more seasons with the Texans, played with the Bills in 2021, and then apparently he was on the 49ers as well from 2021 up until the present. So I don't know. But he must have gotten picked up by the Colts and then dropped again. But yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of he's a journeyman, but he's got experience on defense. So 2020, this is his 2021 stats. Let's see, he had 163 total tackles, 99 solos, 64 assists, 2 sacks, 5 forced fumbles. Let's see, 4 pass deflections. Yeah, so I mean, he's got skills, so that should help. And even if it doesn't, it's going to help that a new league. It's going to help your defense because you got a guy that's been in the pro league.
Man, guys don't have to go up to CFL and freeze their butts off.
Yeah. Yeah, we can ask Johnny Football about that one. Oh,
ouch!
He tried a couple of places. I even think he tried them 2 leagues that fell apart.
Put some respect on Doug Flutie.
So Doug Flutie. Oh man, yeah. So there was some interesting stuff there. Let's go back. XFL.
We got like 10 more minutes, but the thing about it is, did you want to touch up on any loose NFL things that popped up?
Yeah, we could. Let's see if they're we got.
They're still working on your boy's contract.
The big surprise in the NFL was Lamar Jackson requesting a trade.
Yes,
he wants to be traded now.
But Lamar Jackson.
So the thing is, he told the Ravens, "I want to be traded," because he doesn't like what they're offering him. But what he wants is a fully guaranteed contract, like some other team gave some quarterback, in the AFC or whatever. With the Browns, I hear it was. And I did read an article. Jim Irsay of the Colts said there's no question about the talent. Like, we would be interested in getting him. There's no question he's talented and he would work here well with this team. I'm not willing to do a fully guaranteed contract. And I agree with Jim Irsay on that one. I agree with the Colts ownership. I'm sorry, dude.
He's not durable.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that is that is perfect. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that Irsay was like, hey, this is the issue. It's not that we're not, these teams aren't signing him because he's a bad player. He's skilled. We all know that. It's the contract thing it's what he
He
wants,
hasn't
and
played.
nobody wants to do this.
He hasn't
Yeah.
played enough football the last 2 years. He's been hurt, and you got to be smart because you got to think about the future of the team before you get somebody all this
Yeah,
money.
I kind of feel like he's more thinking about himself than he is,
And
a team or whatever.
and I will say, hey, I'm not hating. You got to do what you got to do because this NFL not for long. All right, NFL not for long. So you got to do what you got to do. Because
And
when you get
and
hurt, they
we
throw you
know.
away.
Yeah, exactly. We all know what the rule is in the NFL. It's always it's always next man up. There's always somebody that can be better than you.
Right.
It doesn't matter what position, doesn't matter how good you are. There's always somebody else that can either be an unknown that can be better than you. Look at Brock Purdy of all people. He came out of nowhere. No one thought that he was going to be like that.
Right.
Unfortunately, I did see, talking about Brock Purdy, I did see Shanahan said is unclear on his return. Said the timeline could be 6
Well,
months to 8 months.
there's I've seen some pictures on Instagram of him with he's got a brace on his arm, pretty much almost like in his like your arm, kind of like, and he's just like
So it's like
he was
that kind of thing.
he was taking a picture with a fan holding his hand.
So is he like this? So it's
Nah.
like from what's that movie? Grown Ups, where he had
Just Purdy. Look, San
I'm
Francisco
so hoping he
loves
comes
you.
back.
We love you. Just rest.
Yeah, don't do anything stupid. Don't rush, dude. We saw how that worked out in Miami
But we
with
do
Tua.
got Sam Darnold, and you need to hurry up. Hurry up. You
Oh
don't want
God,
to,
yeah.
but
So what are I want to know what your thoughts are on number 0 coming to the NFL.
number 0 coming to the NFL.
Yeah, jersey number 0.
No.
Because the league owners approved the proposal to allow players to wear the number 0. This was reported Tuesday from the annual league meeting. The
No.
Eagles proposed a change earlier this month to allow players to wear the number 0. The move builds on the 2021 resolution allowing most non-linemen to wear numbers 1 through 49. I think they actually had somebody that was planning on where players already pouncing on the chance. So Jaguars receiver Calvin Ridley announced shortly after the rule passed that he's going to wear number 0.
So stupid.
So he said so, and he tweeted this out. He said, "Excited to be the first Jaguars player to wear 0. Shout out to Jags equipment."
Hey,
I just
hey, Calvin, really, let me tell you this. How about some of the games you get a 1 and you get a 0 with another 0? How about that? How about 100 yards? Let's do that.
I'm just like, shouldn't you focus more on
Let's focus on you want to get
helping your team,
numbers?
help your team win. Don't worry about what no one cares about the jersey number.
Look.
I mean, unless you're putting up the stats to back it up and your team's winning.
Yeah. So look. Stop gambling.
Oh, damn.
Stat line, right? Guess what your stat line was last year? 0, 0, 0,
Hey,
0.
there you go.
So
Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh man,
how
I
about
forgot
a
he's
1
the
and
one. He was the
0?
bonehead that did the gambling thing to get kicked out.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
what a
How
dummy.
about first get a 1 and a 0, 0. Then the next game get a 1 and a 0 and some more numbers. How about that?
Yeah. Let me see what else. Yeah, like we said, there wasn't really a whole lot of NFL stuff. I did see that Matt LaFleur said that everyone should we're tempering our expectations for Jordan Love. I don't know. Like for me, if I was a quarterback taking over after we finally got rid of Rodgers, like I don't know how I would feel if my coach said, "Well, we got to temper our expectations." That to me tells me your coach doesn't have a lot of faith in you. Like, or am I wrong?
You have sometimes the truth hurts, feedback hurts, but you got to be honest. It's like, okay, we are losing probably one of the best heroes, Brett Favre, Star, and Aaron Rodgers. So you got some shoes to fill, kid. So you got to step up.
Do you think the team and the fans will rally around him? Or do you think they're going to have an issue with that? Because to be fair, we really haven't seen anything from him except for, when he gets tossed in for an injury. Rodgers just doesn't want to play. Garbage time. So I don't know on him.
People did the same thing when Brett Favre left. It was Aaron Rodgers.
It was the exact same thing.
And everybody was like, yeah, he got a championship. He got MVPs. But you got the number one thing is that a kid has to get reps. If he don't get the reps and he don't get out there on the field to do anything, he is going to fail. So he's got to get out there and he's got to learn. Football is a fast contact sport, but you can't do nothing if you're sitting there holding the clipboard. You got to get out there on the field. So hopefully, do I think he could do it? Hey, Philly was getting ready to get rid of Jalen Hurts one time,
Yeah.
And they didn't think he had it.
You know what? It's the NFL. Anything is possible. Let's be honest about this. I mean, any given day, a quarterback could step it up. Did I expect Brock Purdy out of all people to lead that team as well as he did?
Right.
No, I didn't. Could Jordan Love be the man to take over the reins and be that guy, the guy in Green Bay? Yeah, he could. He has the opportunity to.
I heard rumors that Zeke wants to be a commander. Would you guys open your arms?
No, bro. Zeke said, "I want to play for the Jets." And there were two other teams, and all the best part of this was he picks 3 teams. These are the only 3 teams he's willing to play for. Well, guess what? Now you're going to be unemployed, sitting at home watching the NFL. Because all 3 teams said we don't want him.
Well, his agent's like, idiot, shut up. Shut up.
We could have got you on a team. You come out and say you only want to play for these. Now, I get picking the Jets because, probably you're going to get to play with Aaron Rodgers and blah, blah, blah. The other 2 were questionable, and I'm just like, but now look what you did. You shot yourself in the foot there by saying, I only want to play for these 2 teams, and nobody wants it.
So you got to be humble. You're not the Zeke you was when you first came into the league.
And to be fair, to give him the benefit of I would put that on the Cowboys' fault for that part because he was used like a running back of the 90s during a couple of seasons. So there was a lot of wear and tear and miles put on that running back which is part of why he's just not the same. And let's be real, he's been, he hasn't done much the last several seasons. But he may be able to. He may be able to turn it around. I don't know.
Cowboys were known to have good running backs.
Oh yeah, they were.
But there comes a time that you gotta. They 7 years in the league. Next man. I mean, all that money. Come on, no.
Yeah. So the last bit of news we'll go over here real quick. We're probably going to run just a few minutes late. Is the NFL did another thing out of the annual meetings? The NFL is expanding the rules against misuse of the helmet. Guardian caps are now required in the regular season and the postseason. So it'll be now the most significant change. Just is all they're doing is they're expanding the rule against using your helmet as a weapon. Which I just was like, I read that part and I'm just like, ain't that common sense? You shouldn't be using your helmet as a weapon. I mean, come on, Jesus. So now a 15-yard penalty will continue to be called if a player lowers his head and makes forcible contact with the helmet against an opponent, unless the refs screw that up, which we know that's inevitable, because we saw that last year playoffs. Washington should have won. They got screwed. But now a player will also be penalized if he uses any part of his helmet or face mask to butt or make forcible contact to an opponent's head or neck area. If the foul is committed by a defensive player, it will also automatically result in a first down for the offense. Player could be disqualified. I'm sure there could be fines levied. Blah blah blah. They're just trying to do away with that type of stuff. Pretty much all together, they want to just completely get rid of that kind of tackling method.
Okay,
Because
what
apparently
about
it's bad for business.
what about the knees and the legs below the? Because
Well, they want you going towards the hips now, so they want you to take out the hips now. So I'm just like, okay, so we want, instead of focusing on the head and the neck, let's worry about the hip, because we got enough of the head trauma and the neck trauma. Now we got to get the hips messed up, so you're just completely screwed.
It was a hip tackle that took out Bo Jackson.
Yeah, and that's what Roger Goodell wants. That's what Goodell wants you to focus on.
Was never the same after that.
Yeah,
never.
God. Well, guys, we are all out of time. We will not be here next week. I'm going to be out of town all week, so it'll be the following week. What is it? The 10th, 11th. It'll be after the Easter, all that fun stuff. So it'll be like April 11th. We'll be back. I think that'll be right in time for getting ready for the draft.
Yep. Perfect time.
Which, if there's a draft, I have to check with Sports Cast to see if we're doing a draft party. We may not even have a show then. If the draft is that week, we might just skip the show and just focus on the draft party instead. And and after the draft is over, we'll all know that Washington's going to the Super Bowl, like I say every year, and then I cry in my sleep when that never happens. I've been saying it for 20 years. One of these years, it's gonna happen, darn it. But yeah, it has been fun. We got nice to be able to talk something other than NFL for the most part.
And thank you, Alan, for coming on the
thank
show.
You, Alan. Shout out to Alan. Make sure to check him out. He does a lot of the March Madness stuff. I tune in every now and then. I don't chat. I just kind of sit in the back and lurk, sitting in my rocking chair, and replying back and forth. Listening to it just because I'm not a big basketball guy, so I don't know enough to warrant commenting. Or I'll just shift the topic to football instead. So, but we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys. Have fun.
Are out of here.